Welcome to a new year of Sailing Talia. That's right, we're back and excited to share with you our journey of living on the sea. Last year, despite a global pandemic, we bought a boat in Spain, prepared her for offshore cruising, and set off for what some might call the ultimate form of social distancing.
This is it, we are ready to go!
Our journey took us down the east coast of Spain before setting off into the wide blue yonder towards the famous BAAACK Islands. One of the few advantages of the pandemic was the lack of other boats in these pristine bays around the islands. Most summers, finding a spot to anchor with enough safe space from other boats is pretty tricky. It sure made our first attempts at anchoring a lot less intimidating. As the autumn mistral winds set in, we were stranded in Menorca for longer than anticipated before making our first overnight passage to Sardinia. While it was difficult to say goodbye to Spain, we were ready for the next step and I really needed some Italian pizza. We've been blown away by the culture and history here in Italy, and while we face some pretty tricky weather conditions to get here, we've loved the encounters with the sea life on almost every passage. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to be sure not to miss a step along the way. If you've been following along on our journey last year, you might remember we lost a whole bunch of footage from our time in Menorca when the hard drive crashed. Now sadly, the video footage that we wanted to share with you guys of the last couple of weeks in Mahon was on our external hard drive, and as today we're trying to produce the episode, we have found that we've somehow fried the hard drive. During our winter break, the good people at Seagate were able to recover the data. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we set off into 2021, allow us to share with you some more secrets of the mysterious BAAACK Islands from the Lost Tapes of Menorca. Morning guys, so a constant struggle for us since buying the boat has been waterproofing all the areas which end up getting leaks. Now, typically, as you know, Sikaflex, I'm a huge fan and it does an excellent job for everything that we've done. There are a few things though that Sikaflex won't do the job for. So what I'll do is show you now some of the simple solutions that we've come up with to ensure that the boat stays watertight when those big storms hit. Now, as you'll recall from a previous episode, I re-bedded in some Sikaflex all along the lip of the hatch here, and that has definitely stopped any water leaking in from there. However, in the last storm we had, I noticed that there was a little bit of water coming in from under the hinge that attaches the hatch to the deck itself. And what I did very simply, as I noticed the water was coming in through the screws, I just re-bedded the screws in with a little bit of Sikaflex and it has done the job perfectly fine. You might remember there was a tiny hairline crack here at the base of the mast, and there was a bit of leaking in that first storm that we had in Denia through here. Now I've sealed with many layers of electrical tape here and put a little bit of gel coat here, and that's done the job. Now, those of you with a very keen eye would have noticed that we have no spray hood at the moment, and the reason for that is every time that a storm comes in, I typically zip up the spray hood cover in order to avoid rain coming in through the front window of the spray hood, and that typically does an exceptionally good job in the case where there's a massive storm and water can sometimes drip through the companionway. Now, The zip had failed in the last storm and the base of the zip all ripped away, so I sent it to a local sailmaker here who's repairing it. So I'm going to grab that today, check out the work and reattach it to the deck. So after a very small hiccup, the spray hood is back up. So what was the hiccup? So as you would have seen, the zip along here came unstitched. The sailmaker who fixed the zipper just restitched this very kindly for free. So going back to the point of waterproofing the boat. So basically what happens when there is a huge rainstorm or, God forbid, a wave comes in and hits us heavily here, what happens is sometimes the water can sneak back through the companionway hatch and leak a little bit down below. However, if the spray hood is up and if this front part is closed up, then this pretty much protects us 100% from any rainfall directly above or being blown in from the bow end of the boat. Now obviously the question begs to be asked, but Luke, what happens if the rain is pushing in from this direction? But in that case, the companionway door seems to protect us 100% from the rain if it's blowing in from this angle.
Hey everyone, so we are still in Mahon and we still don't know when we're gonna leave Mahon and cross to Sardinia. It's a bit tricky because the weather changes all the time and we are facing some strong winds if we leave in one day. So we are gonna have a little talk with some people who are in the organization of ARC, but for now we're gonna have a ride because we rent a motorbike and we're gonna go exploring Menorca.
So we were told that any visit to Mahon would be wasted if we didn't visit the ancient ruins of the Taleitic people. So according to the tourist panel in front of the monument, the Taleitic period started 1300 years before Christ. You can see that we're studying hard. Hey look, there's a turtle. Let's see what his name is. Where's he going? Hello, little baby. This is a little one. Hello. Hello.
Aww. Hey there. Cute.
So this here is the Taller of Taliti. So essentially this is a sacred place where they would apparently sacrifice animals and have banquets and do all sorts of cool, interesting stuff in order to make the next harvest more profitable, to also bless the soil and make sure that they get the best yields possible for the next year around.
Hey everyone, so we are here today in a natural park which is called Esgro, and it's quite beautiful. We just started one hike and it's a 2.8 kilometer hike, and I just lost Luke. Like I said, it's a natural park with a lagoon in the middle, and apparently there are a lot of birds. Menorca is really like, it's a really beautiful island, very natural, very untouched.
It's fascinating to see how the ducks stay where they're protected from the wind in these little bays, just like we do when we're at anchor. We're just like them, floating ducks.
I must say this place is quite magical because it's really quiet, very calm. The only thing we can hear is the birds. And yeah, I think I start to understand why some people are really interested in birds. It's quite fascinating. And like I said, it's very relaxing. And yeah, my dad would love this place because he loves the birds.
One thing that makes Menorca unique from its sister islands Formentera, Ibiza and Mallorca is that it was declared a biosphere reserve back in 1993. This imposed restrictions on property development and infrastructure. We love the fact that the island captures all the beauty of the Balearic Islands without being marred by the massive nightclubs and the sprawling resorts. It's understated, rich in culture, and really chilled out. This may actually be the Balearic's best kept secret. So here we are in week 3 of our time in Mahon. We've actually been here a bit longer than we had anticipated, mainly because we aren't getting the weather window that we need to cross over to Sardinia in Italy. So what we're doing instead is continuing to wait here. And today is a day where we're going to take advantage of the good weather that's only going to be here for 24 hours and check out this beautiful island. Guys, so we are here on El Toro, which is Menorca's highest mountain, standing at 365 meters, more or less. So not the highest mountain in the world. We're far from being in the Swiss Alps, but it is magnificent here. We've got a full 360-degree view of the entire island. It is a pretty special place. What do you think, babe?
I like it. Yeah, the view is amazing. So
it's just a shame it's a little bit cold, right?
Yeah. Well, what's weird is that on that part of the island it's all cloudy, all dark, and then you look at on the other side and it's all blue and it's a capricious weather.
Today we are here in the quarry of Hostal here on Menorca, which is apparently very famous for its botanic gardens and for a bunch of limestone mazes.
And this place is also known as Litica.
Litica.
Because I think if you look on the map it will be easier to find as Litica. And yeah, I feel like this place is like a theme park. but I can already see the maze.
Oh wow.
It's going to be quite interesting. So this place is also, it's not only a theme park, it's also a culture center where you have performance like music concerts and that kind of stuff. And just right here is an amphitheater. So this is the kind of wall that we can see everywhere here in Menorca. It's dry stone walls. It's everywhere along the roads and in the countryside, everywhere. But what's really amazing about it is that it's super loose, like it's not attached with cement or it's all loose. Crazy.
So this is really interesting. This is explaining how these dry stone walls are made. So if you look carefully, you can see there's the smaller stones in the center and the larger ones on the outside, which are holding them all in place. It's a clever invention. So we're contemplating whether or not we should go into the maze for a photo. We don't have a huge amount of time, but Laure is very keen to get in there. Now,
I can make it.
the only concern we have is if she enters into the labyrinth, will she get out? Maybe you'll find David Bowie in there.
It's further than you think. Time is short.
There. All right. Where's the entrance?
So this is quite hilarious. Laure is intent on getting into the center of the maze. Well, the best way to work out a maze is from the center backwards. That's cheating. Oh, you are so busted for cheating.
I'm so exhausted.
Keep going. It spirals in. Okay, so I helped Laure get in, but we're on a bit of a tight time schedule here and we've got to move, so she's got to make her way out of here on her own, I'm afraid. Bye! She'll work it out, I'm sure. And just as I'm leaving, I see this. Cheetah strikes again. Unbelievable.
I made it!
Yeah, Herculean effort, that one.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us next week for part 2 of the Lost Tapes of Menorca, where we discover the best local delicacies, set out in search of the biggest cave in Menorca, and show you the top spots to catch an unforgettable sunset when visiting this beautiful island.